Good morning and welcome. I got lost. You think after doing this show, I don't know, a couple hundred times, you know where to start at? Well, somehow I was reviewing some of my past shows and I tried to come back to where my shows are set up by my producer, Grace, and I couldn't find it. So I had to go back into history and search way back in history about a couple months ago to pull up the link. But I found it. I'm here. And I want to warmly welcome you. I am your host, Bob Pace, and here we are to fight CPS and keep your children or get your children back. It's a very important concept is to try to keep your family together. But if your family gets broken apart, I'll help you get it back together. Um, you're dealing with an organization, I call it the Child Protection System because every state, every county will have different acronyms. I know in Arizona, it's Department of Children's Services. In Kentucky, it starts off with the Bureau. Um, in California, it's the Child Protection Services. So when I say CPS, I mean the system. I mean all the entities out there, all the acronyms that they have, and so forth. Anyway, this particular agency is supposed to protect our children from neglect and abuse, offer families assistance in social services to help them out with their families in need, and if they break the family apart, to do family reunification. That's really important because the best parents are the parents that they're biological parents. They're the best parents. So we need to keep the family unit intact. And it's a horrible thing because CPS now is taking children, whether they're in intimate danger or not. They automatically come to their SOP is they come out to your home with the police, and the police is going to be intimidators, and they're going to try and enforce something they don't have. They're going to try to take away your Fourth Amendment. Think about this. Your home is your castle. And there's an amendment created that no one can enter your home. There's only three ways they can. If you give them permission, they can enter your home. Two, there's intimate danger, like a child being slammed against the wall. There are weapons involved, like guns and knives. There's heavy domestic violence taking place. Then social workers and the police can enter the place. The third way is they have to have a court warrant, and that warrant's got to be well addressed. It's got to be filled out correctly and everything. So, well, hello there, Magical Kelly, inspirational. I think you're Nikki. Am I right, or is that? Hey, it's Nikki. I remembered. Okay, and you have an update. Great. Glad to have you aboard, Nikki. Glad to have you aboard, Nikki. Now, I usually start off my podcast and tell you how you can interact. And one of the first ways you can do the interact in this podcast is that you can be in this room and listen and take notes. That's one way. The second way, and my producer's already produced my phone number, is you can call in at 626-698-0990. But hold off calling in. I usually put that up last because I need to go through how they interact. And someone calls me and that puts them on a hold. So I don't want to be on hold there. But my phone number is hooked to my phone. I'll answer. It's my office phone number, 626-698-0990. And that's my office number. And it's only good between the hours of 10 in the morning, Pacific Standard Time, for 1 hour, and 7 o'clock at night, Pacific Standard Time. Now, there's some exceptionals. This every Sunday, I do the podcast at 8 instead of at 10. That's on Sunday only. And this Thursday, I'm doing the podcast earlier than 7. I'm doing it at 3 o'clock in the afternoon because I have some commitments with my family later on. And so, with that being said, So I'm on tomorrow at 3 o'clock. That's 3 o'clock Pacific Standard Time for an hour, 3 to 4, and it's going to be 3 hours early. So, um, which is good because the East Coast people won't be so late because every time they're calling in, they're always late in the afternoon podcast, evening podcast here in California. Now, broadcasts are up the street in Surf City, USA. I'm outdoors, blue sky, no clouds, and it's comfortable. There's a breeze where I'm at, and so forth. And so I am um, really glad that you're in this room. Now, Nikki, let's see what else Nikki said. I'll get these finished here. I spoke with a worker today. She said the drug test has not come back, but she was expecting at this point this past Monday. Yeah, you were telling me that. She also requests me to take the children to the hospital or the doctor to ensure they're not being abused. Now, that is funny. I mean, I'm not saying it's funny, but aren't the children in protective custody of CPS? Why are they worried about them being abused? That's scary. You mean to tell me that CPS is taking your children, put them into foster care, and now they're worried about being abused? That's terrible. That is terrible. That's terrible. All right, let me go back to the interacting in the podcast. Let's say you've taken some notes and stuff and you want to ask some questions. An easy way to do that is all you have to do is write a comment or a question about your CPS. Write a question or a comment about your CPS. Please keep it to CPS. Also, will you please show your name like, well, Nikki did. See, Nikki has a name that catches is Magical Cali Inspirational, but she goes by Nikki, so she put Nikki in her text comment. So please show your name or put your name, your city, state, or country. And yes, you heard me right, country. This is a worldwide broadcast. We're broadcasting on YouTube using the StreamYard application. And anybody that has Facebook has found us. So if you're in Dubai or if you're in the Middle East or wherever you're at in this world, you will see this podcast. So far, we've had Bangladesh commented in here. We've had New Delhi, India. We've had several countries in Africa. We've had South Africa, one of the provinces, has um, uh, got involved in what we're doing. And then, boy, I'm trying to think here what we're doing here. Podcast. Oh, um, we go to Africa. I said that province in South Africa, then Mozambique, which is on the east side of Africa, and then we have Rwanda, which is Central East Africa. And Rwanda went through a horrible thing in 1994. It was uh, it was all about civil war, and 1 million people were murdered and killed, and over 500,000 women were raped. Females were raped, and that's a horrific thing to hear about that. To hear about that. So um, Rwanda did text in, and they tell me that their program is a lot better now. Now we go over to the west coast to a country called Liberia, and there is a scout leader who calls in all the time about his country and CPS. So they've taken an interest. Then we go up to Europe. We've had England, Scotland, Wales, United Kingdom, and then we've had Norway and Sweden have both expressed an interest here. Then we go across the pond to North America, and we have both sides of the Canadian coast have called in. And then apart from that, we go down into our states. And I've talked to pretty much every state. all 50 states, including the Washington, D.C. I had a case down there. And then we go down south the border to Mexico. And Mexico actually called me looking for his kids in Louisiana. And then we go down to South America, and we have the country of Guyana. And that is on the west coast, the east coast of South America, above Brazil, east of Venezuela. That's Guyana. You have a coastal town called Georgetown. And then we go across the pond to the land down under Australia. So those are the diversity of the countries we've had. Um, Also, please be complete with your CPS case, whether you're on the phone or a visitor next to me, because a lot of things um, are said, and you got to really make sure you copy them down and so forth. Lastly, be complete with your CPS case. I don't want to do what do you call ping pong ball, where you ask a question and where um, I ask a question, then you ask a question, the ball goes back and forth. So try to be complete with your case. Um, One part I really like to know is that are you a husband, wife, or girlfriend, boyfriend? Are you lovers, or are you just um, a partnership? And then how are the children? Are both parents involved? Or are you a single parent? And are there multiple parents with multiple fathers and mothers by these children, all from the same family or not? And oh, also, you need to tell what kinds of children you have. Are they old or young, and then their ages? And then what's important to know is the allegations. What were you accused? Neglect or abuse, or both, and the details about that. Then after you've done your family representation and what your accusations are, then I want to know um, if your children were taken out. How were they taken out? Did you give permission to come in your home and take your children, or did the police just walk in and take your children for no reason? Um, I like to know those things. And um, I like to know those allegations. And then further on, when you put the your case together, is that how were the children taken out? Were they given to the social services? Did you let them go, or did they have a court order, or you know, um, how did they get the children? And then where you at on your case? Where you at on your case, so that way I can help you. And then lastly, put down where you're at on your case. Where you're at on your case. So that's the second way you can interact with this podcast. The third way is to be a guest on the podcast. And you would contact my show producer, Grace, who works behind the scene, and she will help you get on the podcast. She's had me some guests lately. I can take up to 10 guests on my podcast. We'll be all small, but I can take up to 10 people on my podcast. And her email is grace at vincentwdavis.com. That's grace at vincentwdavis.com. and she will gladly um, help you get on the StreamYard application, give you the link and everything. Some things you don't want to do, and she'll tell you those. You don't want to eat or smoke on the show, and you want to give the names of children or judges or social workers. And so you just pick one of my 14 shows. I want to be Bob's Monday morning show or Bob's Friday show. You just tell Grace what you like to be, and she'll do the rest to get you the right tablet. Now, the last thing is the phone number. That's the last thing. So right now my phone's live. You can call in at 626 698 0990. And I'd love to have you on the show. I'll put you on speakerphone. I'll put you on speakerphone. You see, we had Nikki see what she's talked about her case. Oh, the kids are with you. So they're thinking you're abusing your kids. Is that what the social worker's thinking? Nikki, um, that's fine. Just make sure it's your doctor, the one that's covered with your insurance plan. So I am open up for questions. My phone number's on. You can call my phone. My phone's live. And I'm looking for any of the questions you may have. Now, I haven't checked my rules in a while, and I go over my rules pretty quick. There are 5 rules. Rule number one, and that's a real important one, is that you really need an attorney to fight this. This is like open heart surgery. You get a real doctor for open heart surgery. You don't try to do it yourself. You don't get a plumber or a mechanic to do your heart work on. You get somebody that's trained and is familiarity with the resources of how for instance, like I call it open heart surgery is what Mary's trying to do with this guy. There's no picture of him. And, you really need somebody in your court. Now, what I mean by that is that these social workers are very corrupt. They retaliate. They don't think you're a nice guy, and they certainly don't want to do family reunification. Their whole goal is to make money. It's a trillion dollar business. I'm talking about trillions of dollars. So when you're thinking about this, you're given a court appointed attorney, and you say, "Oh, good, I can talk to him." Well, he won't show up until the day of your hearing. He won't talk to you ahead of time. He'll not fight for you, and he has a caseload of 30 more clients, so he won't have time for you. So we have a special going right now, and you need something better than a court-appointed attorney. You'll lose your case. Mine did. So I hired Vincent W. Davis. Now, what was really important about him was that he knew what he's doing. He does know the law. And now the number is posted on my left at the bottom. It's in yellow and orange. And to schedule time to talk to Mr. Davis is that you call in at 888 and there's a little video stream of him coming in. Um, out there, I was looking down at my notes on my page because it's I'm trying to read that number. It's 888 I have a lot of lag here. My body is being frozen all the time, and I hate that. Um, I got to get a better frames per second. I'm broadcasting right now at frames per second. Doesn't look like it's too many there. Um, anyway, the number is 888 and that is the office. And when you call in, make sure you tell them that Bob Pace sent you, and um, and ask that you want a consultation with Mr. Davis. There is a 30-minute window that he has available for $60. That's $60, and he is available to talk to you about your case. And it's important to at least talk to him. Whether you hire him or down the road you want him, that's between you and him. He bases his price based on two things: how long the case has been going on and the difficulty of the case. Also, if you're out of state, there's additional expenses he has, such as transportation, ground and air, and then he's got accommodations and food while he's there. So he will talk to you, and that's really good and important because he'll make you feel a lot better. So it's really important there. Also, when you see Mr. Davis, tell him that Bob Pace sent you. It's very important you let Mr. Davis know that. And what you're getting right now is a 35-year experience trial attorney who has a background in dependency court, juvenile, and family. And uh, he's a trial attorney, and he will get your children back. He has fought CPS, and he also has done civil lawsuits, both in state and federal court. So I really strongly recommend it because your court-appointed attorney is going to make you look bad. You lose your case. And if you can, get one for your children because you can work against them too. Your children are really precious. I know that you really love and care for them. So that's my rule number one. Get an attorney. It's like doing open heart surgery. Would you use a layman to do open heart surgery? Would yourself cut open your heart? Would you get a mechanic, or would you get a plumber to do it? No, you're going to get an experienced person to do open heart surgery. That holds true for social work and the CPS, the Child Protection System. So that's my rule number one. Now, my rule number two is you need to create a a notebook, a 3-ring notebook about 3 inches thick, 8.5 by 11, and full of dividers. Get about at least 10 dividers. And some of the subject areas that could be divided. Is the first one is very important is incidents. Every incident you're involved in, whether it's with the police or the social workers or whatnot, you should write it down. You need to have kind of a record of what you're doing. So, with your subject tab, okay, when you talk about incidents, you put the date and time, and you put the location, the people involved. The second line, you're going to put the description of the incident, and then the third line is the outcome. The outcome may be down the road, but you can leave the space blank, come back later to fix it up. So it's really important that you do so. You do so. Um, then that notebook will get build and build as you go. Like your court papers, you'll punch them and you put them in a divider called court papers. You arrange them in date, and if you so that should be something that like your parenting classes or your programs, your anger management program, your your program with drugs or alcohol, domestic violence, those kinds of things. They could go in there, the certificate, and then have a log for both your parenting classes and your programs. Another source for a divider would be to have something that is information you found on the internet regarding um, this person. Boy. I need a bigger screen. And I'm not trying to get frustrated here, but when I put my head down, I'm looking at my paperwork on my computer. I'm going to push the computer further back. That's going to make me smaller so that I can see that better. But it's very difficult when I am trying to read something from my notes there. Now, another part of your notebook you can put is the information you found, your all the links you have and all the discussions you've made, all the links you have and all the discussions you have. Okay. Um, I'm, no, it's okay. Um, right now, um, we have um, the third um, rules. Do you have? Um, wait a minute. Why is my podcast ending right now? Um, whoops. The third rule, Nikki, are you still there? Nikki, right now, you were asking me a question in there. The third rule is your rule regarding about letting people in your home or talking to social workers. We have social workers or police that like to come into your home, and they do so. Um, um, they um, come into your home and they try to take your kids away. Now, as I told earlier in the show, there's only three ways they can come into your home. And whatever you do, do not let them come into your home unless they have a court order, you give them permission, or they're in imminent danger. Furthermore, do not talk to social workers. It's yes, no answers. And then also, you can um, tell them that time out. I need to talk to my attorney, and I'll get back to you. Make sure you get their name, see their ID. If there's a policeman, get their badge number because they will lie about their names. Now, there's also going on right now is trafficking, medical trafficking, where they're taken in to the hospital. Your parents are taking them in because of urgent care. The social worker will not. Um, the social worker will try to take away your child at the hospital. Also, if you're going to have your baby, they try to do the same thing. It's pretty sad, but they are now starting to do that. They hang out at the hospital and they try to do things that are illegal. They're trying to lurch there to get you there. I'm trying to tell you, you know what a social worker is? I keep telling about my pink ladies. These are people that are social workers in Prescott, Arizona. They've been doing that now. It was in year 2022. There's 8 of them. And what they decided to do is get pink T-shirts. And on the front, they had stenciled um, their professional child kidnappers. And on the back of their T-shirts, they had, "Do you know where your children are at? Do you know where your children are at?" So maybe I can hold the paper up. I can do it up there. Oh, good. We got a call come in. Good. Good morning and welcome. Who am I talking to?
My name's Melanie. How are you?
Hi, Melody. Welcome aboard.
Welcome.
Yeah, Melody, what part of the world are you from?
I'm from Pennsylvania.
Oh, great. Have you been on before?
I commented on, I watched one of your lives a few weeks ago.
Yeah, because I've had some people from Pennsylvania lately. And
yeah.
Can you tell me, are you the mother of the children?
I am. My daughter's 8.
So you have an 8-year-old daughter, and you have any other children?
No, I do not.
Oh, okay. Now, are you in a relationship as a husband, wife, or girlfriend, boyfriend?
Nope, I am a single parent.
Okay, you're a single parent. Now, is the father chooses not to be involved, or is he fighting you on this?
No fight at all. I left him after I had gotten pregnant. Okay. I wanted a little less of a chaotic life than he had to offer.
Okay, and so what were your charges from CPS?
So I actually had my mother make false allegations against me in which she had me arrested. She said that I had hit her, and she has been the one person helping me with my daughter as far as getting me, as far as getting her to school and such. When COVID happened, it rearranged my whole lifestyle and schedule, and single parent, and I am a nurse, so I don't get to choose when I have to work. My mother helps me, and so the allegations through CPS trickled down after that happened. They forced me to sign a 60-day safety plan with them, and thankfully that only lasted 60 days, but during that time, I did a lot of thorough documentation on the things they were doing that weren't proper and legitimate, and I actually wanted to share with you that through the county, because it is the county children and youth, they're being relicensed through the state because they had 4 provisional licenses. And then through all of this, I had given all of my documentation to the state, filed a proper grievance. So they're firing people that aren't doing their job accountably and my area.
So you have some trouble with the child protection system corrupt in Pennsylvania.
Absolutely.
Wow. So what were the allegations with you and your daughter?
There weren't any.
Oh,
So there weren't any.
so how did your mother call the police, or did she call the child protection system? Did I lose you? Are you there?
No, I'm here.
Mel, okay, I asked you the question, Melody. Um, did you call the police, or did your mother call the police or the child protection system?
I think she got both involved. So it was close to my daughter's last day of school last year. And my mother had told her to come up to her house and then she called me how the safety plan came into effect.
Well, here's the thing: is you call the police for a crime, they're going to call CPS anyway if it involves children. So, what was your mother saying that you did to your daughter?
Nothing. For just trespassing. So in the midst of this, my mother filed a petition to sue me for custody, for full custody of my daughter. And we're ongoing in that battle.
So she wants to take your daughter from you. Is she trying to alienate your daughter from you?
Absolutely.
Wow.
And it's a lot of it's financially rooted, you know. She started getting a retirement check in December, and then all of this came about because she lost her welfare assistance, her food stamps, her health insurance became a cost she had to pay for. She lost her heating assistance. She actually told me yesterday she was going to file for child support, and I think it's comical almost, but it's sickening. The lengths that people will go. My mother is disabled. She'll pawn my daughter off on whoever she can, and yet keep her for me. But my story's different too. I was also a drug addict for many years. I grew up with my mother selling drugs. So that's her mindset and her lifestyle, and it's all about money. She doesn't care.
Do you have an attorney?
I do.
Okay. I mean, it's a paid attorney, not a court-appointed attorney.
Absolutely, paid attorney.
I'm sorry, what kind of attorney?
Paid attorney.
Okay, good. Because court-appointed attorney, the social workers want you to have one, but they're not really. They are not. They have a caseload of 30 more clients. They won't fight for your case, and they'll do nothing but make your life bad, really bad. Go through a lot.
Right. Yeah, I'm hoping this all comes to an end here soon. It's been a tiring process, and then of course, really damaging on my daughter. She's 8, and myself as well. I'm trying to maintain a job and worry about her, and need a lot of therapy after this is done.
Yeah. Okay. So where's your case now?
We are to be going to mediation.
Okay. And you said something about a safety plan. Did you sign a safety plan?
They have forced me to sign a safety plan, which was, I didn't know anything about that at the time. It was a blank document that they made me sign.
Yep.
They didn't tell me what I was signing. They just told me that if I didn't sign this paper that my daughter was going to go to foster care.
Well, they always do that. See, the problem is with a safety plan, that gives them rights to investigate you. A safety plan gives the agency rights to investigate you, and you don't want that. You don't want to sign a safety plan. And with your attorney, you follow his attorney's advice, the attorney you have.
Yeah. Well, that safety plan has since expired, and I had said, like, I didn't really want to speak out about anything until after I knew I was in the clear because I was so afraid of retaliation, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
I don't think that a lot of people understand their rights before they get involved.
No, they don't. In fact, I was
my
speaking to a CPS fighter, and she wants to come up to some way of helping children more. We all like to help families and children get back together because the social workers should be dealing with unification. They should make every effort because the best parents are the biological parents, and they should be all put together. They should be.
Yeah, yeah. I think the biggest thing that helped me with my case was the thorough documentation, like with emails and my attorney and just adding him to things and co-signing, other people through the agency because it was like there was no room. I was not leaving anybody any room to say that something was said that wasn't said, and I needed them to be accountable for their actions.
Yeah, yeah. And so, how long has this case been going on?
It ended July 30th, and then it was put into action May 30th.
And so
it was 60 days.
Okay. And right now, the children are with you. Your daughter is. Your daughter is.
Through 50-50 shared custody with my mother, but my mother doesn't always comply with things.
So your mother was granted guardianship of your child?
No, we are 50-50 shared custody. She was not granted what she wanted. She wanted full custody and guardianship. She was.
Why do you want her to share as guardian of your daughter? Why?
I'm sorry?
Why do you want her to share as your daughter? I mean, share custody with your mom.
I don't. I just had to take this one step at a time.
Okay.
I continue the fight for full custody. I just have to undo some of the damage that she has created.
That's hard when parents get involved with their siblings. That's really hard. Has your mom always been this way?
Hello?
Like when you were growing up as a child, how was she taking care of you? Melody, how was your mom raising you? What kind of a mother was she? Melody, did you? Oh. I think Melody dropped off. I'm going to try to call her back. I don't know how I lost her. Gee. My signal isn't all that great. If you hear me, Melody, I'm calling you back.
Hello.
Yeah, I lost you, Melody. This is Bob Pace.
Hello.
Yeah, do you hear me okay?
Hi, Bob. I can hear you now. Yes.
Okay. So I had asked you a question. How were you when you were brought up as a child with your mother?
How was I brought up as a child with my mother?
This is Melody, right?
Yes, this is me.
Yeah, okay. When you were raised by your mother, how was your mother's parenting skills?
She didn't have any. She started selling drugs when I was 13, Oxycontin and marijuana.
And the CPS never got involved with your mother?
No, I don't. I'm 36 years old, so I think at that time, I mean, I don't really know what happened or how she ever got away with it after all of those years. But
And you think
um,
the only reason why she's trying to take your daughter, have custody, is because she gets additional aid from the state? Is that what she's trying to do?
absolutely, absolutely, because we had this. I would pay her to watch my daughter while I was at work, and then she had started getting a pension check from my dad's retirement in December, and it exceeded her income. So she kept telling me, about all these expenses and all of these benefits that she was going to lose, and she wanted me to keep giving her more money. And I'm like, at some point, most grandparents don't want money to watch their grandchildren. Normal grandparents, I think, and what is normal anymore? But I mean, most grandparents want to spend time with their grandchildren because they want to,
Yeah, I agree.
not because they're getting something monetary out of it.
I agree. So when's your next court date?
Let's see. Next week I have two, so I'm hoping that they go well. And
What are the? Can you share with the room what the two dates are?
The 26th and the 28th.
No, I meant what's going to happen on the 26th.
We have a mediation.
Okay, and then on the 28th?
And the 28th is for the charge of trespassing that she had set me up to get arrested for, which resulted in because she had told me to come up to her house to see my daughter, and then she called the police and told them that she never said that. I got a little smart, when talking with my mom face to face, she says one thing and does another. There's no communication there unless we're text messaging so that it can be proven.
Okay.
This has impacted my career and my reputation for the time being, but
it does. It ruins your credit. It ruins your credit too.
Yeah.
You're definitely sorry about that. That is for sure. What are some other questions I can help you with since I got you on the call here, Melody?
I don't know. I just wanted to update you on how things are going.
I'm glad you're doing that. I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah.
So have they projected anything down the road for you at all?
No, I'm working on a calendar for the next year.
Okay.
That it will be 50-50 to the days with my daughter's school schedule and my work schedule. And then my hope, because I know I can't go all for everything at once, or they're not going to give it to me. But my hope for the future then is just to get things settled and squared away, and then go back to petition for full custody without any issues.
Yeah. And has your lawyer been very supportive?
I mean, he's been helpful. I can't really say anything on the negative side of that. He's doing everything that he can.
Well, you're very fortunate to have attorney representing you, because a lot of people don't, and they use the court-appointed attorney, and they lose their children.
Yeah, and I think that's where a lot of people fail in the situation is because it's like if you don't have the money to fight, then you're kind of set up for failure from the beginning.
Yes, yes. And it's a trillion dollar business too.
Yeah, it is. I think they would drag it out as long as they could, you know? But CPS is out of the picture now, and they're looking at some officials in my area too, you know, not doing their job according to standards. So that's hopeful.
Okay, that sounds good. That sounds really, really, really good. Um, do you have all your medical records on your daughter, her school records, everything into a folder? So you have their birth certificate, social security card, those kinds of things.
Yeah, I have all of that.
Good. It's very important you have it and you keep them in a safe spot because you know they're really bad. A lot of parents will have a child in a hospital, and the social worker will step in and take away the birth certificate. They're not supposed to write something else in the birth certificate.
Yeah, yeah, I have all of her information. Well, thank you. I keep jumping on your live whenever I see you, and I mean, hopefully, you know, the importance of documenting things helps
Yes, it's
somebody
very
in the
important
future.
that you take pictures, record important phone conversations, things like that. You have to be careful because each state has a different recording laws and stuff. I think you have to notify them that you're recording them. Like you need to tell them up
Yeah,
front, I'm recording you.
I didn't have to worry about that,
Okay,
luckily, but
good, good. Okay, Melody. It's getting close to the end of my show. We have about 8 minutes left, or actually, it's 11 o'clock, and I need to end my show. We've gone over.
okay.
So I
You
want
have
to
a great
thank you
day.
for calling in. This is Melody from Pennsylvania, who is a single mom trying to work out custody arrangements with her mom regarding their daughter. And I really hope it goes well for you on these next two court dates she has coming up there. I want to thank
Thank you.
Magical Kelly Inspirational, who's Nikki, and she uh, is trying to get her children back. CPS says that they have to make sure that they weren't being abused, so she needs to take them to the hospital about that. But I want to thank all my listeners, all the ones that gave thumbs up and the emojis, everything. Thank you very much for listening, and don't give up on your children. I'll see you all at 8 o'clock tonight um, on my podcast. Excuse me, 7 o'clock tonight. In the wrong time. 7 o'clock in that Pacific Standard Time tonight. So I want you to have a good day, and uh, and God bless you all, and good luck with your case. Bob Pace signing off.